Hi, Mark. Here. It is Tuesday, March the 24th, 8 a.m. Eastern, noon GMT. US session now underway, and let's have a look how the markets are following up and reacting to yesterday's strong day. Yesterday, we saw the US dollar sold off. We saw equities, US stock markets rally. Gold came down overall, oil came down, and Bitcoin showed some resilience and some demand for Bitcoin. Yesterday, part of the contributing to the strong move yesterday was the de-escalation of tension in the Middle East, even if it was unilateral and only from the US side. But the market did react in a uh, positive positive way in that it was a little bit of risk on, again, something we haven't seen for a while. US dollar, there's the US dollar sell-off fighting its way back today. I've got support at 98.89 and I've got resistance at 99.20. Green candlestick at this point. Buyers will look up at that 99.20 and will look to maintain above that 99 level, which is certainly looking pivotal. If US demand fades, buyers unable to hold on to these gains, sellers will look to get back below that 99 level and look down at the support level. But on the front foot for now, as the US session gets underway. Let's have a look at the S&P. Had a strong day yesterday, bullish engulfing candlestick following following the Trump US declaration of the war being over and tensions easing in the Middle East. That was the result, risk on, and equity markets did rally, gap higher to open in futures trading, and sellers then stepped in. There's the red candlestick, support at 6,579 and resistance at 6,655. Now that the US session is open and Wall Street opening up in an hour and a half, we'll see whether this demand does continue. If buyers add to or look to add to yesterday's rally and test this resistance right now at the 6,655. If we see a continuation of the downtrend, sellers will look to test this support level and look back down below the 6,600, looking at the support. Red candlestick for now, and already the gains from yesterday, a portion of those gains have been given up. Let's have a look at gold. After a very strong sell-off yesterday, down to significant levels, right down to 4,100, a real strategic level. Buyers did step in, fight back from gold yesterday. We'll see whether that can continue today. There is the red candlestick. Gold was sold off earlier down to 4,300 support, fought its way back. I've got resistance at 4,451. Gold could well take its lead from the performance of the US dollar, but if you do look on the daily chart, a succession of lower highs and gold really struggling to fight its way back for now. We'll see how that plays out once the US session gets underway. Oil, a reprieve for oil yesterday, significantly closed below the 100 mark, sitting right now at 98.47. I've got resistance at 120, so that 100 level, that pivotal level, acting as an intraday resistance for now. I've got support at 96.89. Certainly a tight range for oil. That's because pretty much status quo, not much has changed today in terms of rhetoric from either side. We'll see how that changes during the day, new developments, what gets said from all parties. Buyers will look to get back above that 100 and higher, or will we see a continuation like we saw yesterday, this bearish engulfing candlestick, oil came down strongly, and sellers will look to maintain below 100 and perhaps test the support, which sits right now at 96.89. Let's have a look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin had a strong day yesterday and able to maintain today so far, still struggling to break that resistance, which sits at 71.4 thousand. And I've got support sitting at 70,120. That's a very narrow range. Buyers will look to retest this 71,500, maybe get up to the close to the 72,000 or higher, have been unable to break higher, and sellers have stepped in around the 71, 72,000 level. Sellers will look to test below 70,000 and look to get back to the lows around 67, 68. Overall, between 68 and 72,000 has been the range. We'll see if there's a change today, but on the front foot today, Bitcoin hasn't been sold off as yet. With some demand, possibly will be enough to get the EMAs to cross to the upside and reverse the downtrend, which has been in place if buyers can get back above the highs of 71, 72,000. Good trading, keep that discipline, and I'll see you at the end of day.